Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another 20 sales over £20 video. This one is sales that I got during June and July. We're already mid-August, so it's a bit late for me putting this out, but here we are. And I've decided to try and boost my own morale, if nobody else is, to not include any duds again this time. We're just going to do 20 sales that were over £20. You need to take that to understand that there are many more sales that were under £20. In fact, I think out of a total of about 300 and something sales in June and July, only about 25 of them were over £25. I don't sell high value items, I sell a lot of lower value items. My average selling price is about 10 quid. So this is why if something sells for over £20, I think it's worth mentioning, because that's an unusually high sale for me. Okay. First item today then is this deluxe travel Scrabble. I had not seen one like this. I've seen plenty of travel Scrabbles. I bought loads of them. You can get pocket Scrabble and saying travel Scrabble is becoming more and more difficult. Pocket Scrabble and travel Scrabble and various different varieties of Scrabble and compact Scrabble and big Scrabble. I had not seen this one before. Doesn't mean it's rare, it just means I hadn't come across it. It is in a zip-up folio, so I'll show you the pictures from the inside. I paid £1 for this at the car boot sale. Why won't the pictures get bigger? There we go. Come on, Carla, you know how to do this. £1 for this at the car boot sale. As you can see, it's in a zip-up case. Had all the bits in there. It even had the score sheets. There's all the innards. It was in nice condition, and I paid £1 and listed it at, I think, £22.99, and it sold for full asking price. No offers on that one, with postage. Nice little return on £1. How many times am I going to say the words "nice little return"? Okay, next up, this was a real blast from my past. This is a National Westminster, oh my goodness. This is a National Westminster Bank, which is what NatWest used to be called, National Westminster Bank money box from the 70s. And my dad had one of these. In fact, he had two. He had one from NatWest and he had one from Lloyd's. And I very much remember as a child popping a ruler in the slot to try and pinch money from my dad. Don't tell him. I mean, you can't tell him. He's no longer with us. But, you know, if any of you get to heaven before I do, and I probably won't get there because I pinched money off my dad, don't tell him what I did, okay? So, yeah, this, I paid a couple of quid for this at the car boot. I can't remember what, but not more than a couple of quid. I remember thinking, God, that's you know, a blast from my childhood. And it sold for £27.99, but it has been listed for a while. I'm pulling up these in the way that I used to pull them up, and I'm not getting the information that I used to be able to see the date. There it is. For some reason, this sponsored items banner is now slap bang in the middle of what I want to look at. But yes, so this has been listed since March 31st. So March, April, May. It took several months to sell. Several months to sell, but it's gone for £27.99 plus postage. Here's another one that had been listed a while. This is a Winsmore floral silk dress and jacket, and I think it came out of the Saks. Now, I haven't had clothing Saks for a while. This has been listed since April the 2nd, 2022. So, over a year. I haven't had any Saks for a while. I think the lady I used to get the Saks off is possibly not there any longer. But it is a silk dress and jacket, very much Mother of the Bride, and it's sold finally, after being listed for over a year, for £29.99 plus postage. I think I may have lowered the price. I think I had at one point, I had on at £39.99. So it's finally gone for £29.99 plus postage. This was a nice one. I was pleased with this one because it's just a roll of wallpaper. It is a roll of, at the moment I saw it, it reminded me of my grand's house in the 70s. This is the wallpaper that she had. In fact, I think she had, bizarrely enough, I've got a vague memory of my mum having this wallpaper on her bath panel. Was it a thing in the 70s to wallpaper your bath panel? It seems like an odd choice now, because surely any water that sloshed over would take it off. But yeah, it's only a part roll as well. It's not a full roll. You can see how much is there by, I took the picture of the end piece. But it was so 70s, so flower power, so immediately evocative of my childhood that I grabbed it. And it was 10p. Did I mention that? 10p. A lady at the car boot, so she had a load of vintage stuff, and she was asking really, really tiny prices for all of it. And I wondered if she was clearing out a shop or something, or I don't know. But it was 10p. £22.99. It was listed since, I've got to scroll all this way back, May the 8th. I listed it on May the 8th, and it sold for £22.99 in late July, I think. These irregular choice shoes came from the little car boot sale that they only do 4 times a year. In fact, one of those has been cancelled. The one that should have happened at the end of July was cancelled, so they've only done 3 times this year. I don't know if there's an August one. And I paid, I think they were £3. They might have been 5. You guys probably remember better than I do. Some of you have a stunning memory for prices. I remember buying them, and also they sold twice. I listed them at £39.99. And they sold the first time on a best offer at £30, and I was a bit reluctant to take the £30, but I'd had a low sales day, and I was like, oh, £30 is better than nothing at all. And they came back because they didn't fit the buyer. Within a day of being relisted, they sold again at full asking price. So I was quite pleased they'd come back that time. Even though I do miss out on the postage. If you sell something and it's returned because it doesn't fit, you still miss out on your outgoing postage. So I suppose I wasn't really any better off at the end of the day. But still, they sold £39.99 on their second go out, and they haven't come back this time. The second buyer was happy with them. So they were nice. Irregular choice shoes are always worth looking out for. These weren't particularly unusual ones. Some of them are very, very stylized. You can get shoes with heels like burgers and stuff like that, and those go for crazy money, but these were just a kind of a standard shoe. A couple of months ago I had a massive sea salt haul from the car boot sale. I did a separate video on it, and then the following week I had a couple of weeks later I had another haul from the same guy. This is from the first haul. These are the sea salt cropped trousers. They're called the Albert Key trousers, and they sold within a few days of being listed for £25.99 plus postage. My entire haul, these came from the first haul, and my entire haul cost £100. So yes, these sold on their first go round. There's some more sea salt further on, I think, as well, from the same haul. These are always worth looking out for. This is a Tefal electric food grater processor. So the little coloured bits are the things that you pop in for the different grate shapes, different styles and whatever. This is an older one. This is an older model because the more new model, the more recent model, the newer model out. What am I trying to say? The updated version is red and a slightly different shape, but the grater cones are the same and it still operates the same way. So this is an older model, and I got this at the Cheddar car boot. So I've only been once to Cheddar this year, maybe twice. I think once. We've been once, and I paid, I think, £3 for it, and it's sold for £22.50 on best offer. You can see that I accepted a best offer. £22.50 within a few days of being listed, I think. It was listed on June the 21st, and it sold mid-July. Sold early July, and it sold early July, so within a week to 10 days of being listed. They're definitely worth looking out for, because my battery's going. Okay, I'm back with a new battery. As I was saying, they're definitely worth looking out for, because when I wanted one myself, I couldn't find one anywhere to get one on Facebook Marketplace and drive miles for it. Okay, next up is this Trixie TX6 automatic pet food dispenser. This was £2 at the car boot sale. I got this, I think, I'm pretty sure it was £2. May have been £1. May have been part of a bundle. I think I got it in a bundle from Steve. Pretty sure it's part of a bundle from Steve. So again, not very much money, because I never pay much with Steve. He's a good guy. This has sold for £26. I put it on £29.99 with best offer, and it sold for £26. I did manage to print out the instructions for it from the internet and added those in as well, which I think always helps with something like this. If you've got an unboxed item with no instructions, if you're able to track down the instructions, print them out and add them in, it gives the buyer that little extra kind of bit of help, I suppose, along the way. So it's just one of those pet feeders. It has 6 sections in it, or 5 sections. I've got 6 sections, and a timer so it opens up while you're away to feed your cat. Although, in my opinion, don't leave your pets home alone. They don't know where you've gone. They worry about you. But that's just my opinion. You do whatever suits you. Okay, these Yours Curve espadrille wedges. These were brand new with tags. They were in their plastic bag. I got them from the car boot sale for £2 from a lady who she just I don't know, she just never worn them. They literally were brand new with their tags on, and they sold for £20. I took a best offer of £20 on those. I always pick up Yours shoes if I see them, because Yours being a plus size clothing shop, even though I don't think their shoes are particularly plus size, they're not particularly extra wide fitting, although they do wider ones. I think people associate them, plus size ladies buy Yours shoes because they associate them with being plus size shoes in a weird way. Denby salt and pepper pots. I bought these at the Easter Compton car boot, and I paid £5 for the salt and pepper pots. You can see there's a little scuff on that one. and a little round oval tray. Now the lady had bought the little round oval plate tray to put them on, but they didn't come with it originally, so I split that, sold the little oval plate separately for about a tenner, and sold the salt and pepper pots for £29.99. And believe it or not, they are a pair, even though they are, one's matte and one's gloss finish, they are a pair. This is how Denby made them. £29.99 on those. That was a lovely sale. And another nice sale is this Anchor tapestry kit. I always pick up unused tapestry kits if I see them, because tapestry kits are really expensive to buy. And if you see Airman ones, this is Anchor, but if you see an Airman one, definitely grab that, because they go for a lot of money. I've sold those in the past now for over £100. This one sold £27.99, but it would cost me about £2. I think I got it in a job lot from a charity shop. I got a whole load in one go from a charity shop. I think I paid about £25 for all of them. There were easily 15 to 20 there altogether. So this one cost me, even if we assess it at £1, I think that's probably a generous assessment. A bit more Denby, this time it's placemats, and these again came from the Cheddar car boot sale. On that one day that I've been there this year, I bought quite a few good bits. These are the Denby Colours range of placemats. Really quite a nice, just a very relaxing kind of pattern on there, very chilled, very Scandi kind of look, I would have said. They're 11 centimetres square, so they're quite large, and this meant they were heavy, and because they were heavy I charged £4.95 postage instead of my usual £3.95, and I think it still might have cost me £5.20 to post, so I think I still was a little bit down on my P&P charges there. But they sold for £26.99. They did have matching coasters, so it's placemats and coasters, and they sold for £26.99 very soon after listing, I think. Like I said, I've only been to Cheddar once. These were listed on June the 26th, and they sold by early July. Jacques Vert. You have to say it like that. It's the reseller law. You have to say Jacques Vert. Bright coral 3-inch shoes and matching bag. I remember buying these not very long ago, and yet I cannot place which car boot sale I was at. I think this was at the little car boot sale, the little Stoke one, and they sold for £50. I took a best offer of £50 for these. Lovely sale, lovely sale. I think I paid £7 for the shoes and matching bag. Possible that the lady had the hat as well. I didn't want it, but that might have been a different time, a different man. I'm not sure. Anyway, boxed, excellent condition, probably worn once for a wedding or something like that, you know. And that sold for £50 with £4.95 postage. I'm not sure why I had £4.95 on there, unless it was just that I'd listed something else with £4.95 and carried it through, because I normally do £3.95. This is another item from the sea salt haul. So I mentioned the sea salt haul earlier on that cost £100 for all of it. This is the Chapel View knee-length multi-pocket soft denim skirt, and this sold for £22.50 plus postage. So as you can see, my whole haul cost £100. Those two items alone have gone for 25-ish quid each, and I've sold so much more out of that haul already. I'm definitely in profit on that stuff, definitely. Here's Bert. Here's Bert from Sesame Street. Who remembers Bert and Ernie? It took me a while to remember which one was Bert and which one was Ernie when I wanted to do the listings. He is actually a backpack. Let's see if I can pull the pictures up. So there he is with his straps, look. Just a zipper across his back. And he wasn't listed very long at all before he sold. He's gone for £22.50 on a best offer. I put him on at £24.99. He was listed a couple of weeks and he's gone for £22.50 plus postage. Fabulous big hair. This is a rotating hot air curling brush, and again it sold for £21 on a best offer. I listed it at £24.99, accepted £21. Sold quite quickly. I had to de-hair it, which was less than pleasant. I had to take all the old hair out of the brush from the previous owner, and then I had to sterilise the brush before I could list it, because yeah. But it was worth the input, because I think it cost me like £2 or something like that, maybe £1, maybe £2, possibly as much as £3. I may have gone as far as £3 on this, but it sold for £21, I think it was. Yeah, 21.05, I think, because somebody obviously decided they wanted free post. Here is another one from the Sea Salt haul. This is the Teal Aventurier printed cotton tunic, and as you see for this one I was able to pull up some pictures from Google or from the Sea Salt website as well as my own, because I think they show the colours better. The problem in this house is the lighting is terrible. I haven't got anywhere at the moment where I can set up proper studio lights, so I'm relying on sunlight, and as you know, there's been precious little of that this summer. So, and also of course I've got my patterned background, which affects the view of the print. So if I can find a Google image or a website image for an item, I always do, to try and help with the colours. Anyway, again, out of the sea salt haul, there were 37 items in that haul and I paid 100 quid. So we worked it out that it was a couple of quid per item, 2.5 quid per item, something like that. This is sold for £26.99, full asking price plus postage. This was a lovely one, simply because somebody sniped a handbag out from underneath my hand at the car boot sale. This was at the Trench Lane car boot sale a few weeks ago. I reached my hand out towards a Cath Kidston bag, and a chap standing next to me literally kind of shot his hand out and grabbed it in front of me. And I sort of gave an eyebrow like this. And then I picked up the next bag, which was this one. It is a Ted Baker. It was genuine leather, really heavy, nice quality bag. I paid £2 and it sold for £45 plus postage. I don't think he'll have got £45 for the Cath Kidston one that he grabbed out from under me. So, karma. This Braun Independent Style and Go, I think this came from Steve. These pop up on Steve's table quite a lot. I think, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you guys before, but Steve gets charity shop clearance stuff. He gets the stuff that they don't want to put out on their shelves. And I've got a feeling this is something they don't put out, because then they have to have rules about about testing stuff. And because this is a gas styler, I think perhaps they can't test it for safety, and so therefore they just shove it straight onto Steve. So it came off of Steve's table. It cost me 3 quid and it sold for £31 on a best offer plus postage. It was unused in its packaging. This is kind of a portable tong and hot brush that you would take on holiday with you, and so that's one of the reasons they're very popular. Although I don't know how people go about taking the gas canisters through airports and stuff. No idea. We're nearly done. This is the last one. This is my melamine tray that I found. Again, it was car boot sale. I don't think I paid very much. I might have paid £1. One of you guys might remember a bit more about what I paid, but it was 1970. Look, there's even a little date on there. TVR 1970. Very, very retro, very, very reminiscent of the 70s for us, for those of us who were there and lived through it. I mean, to be fair, this is a bit bright because a lot of my 70s was orange and brown. £24.99, and I paid a couple of quid. I'm not 100% sure exactly how much. It may have been £1, may have been £2, but £21.99 on that. Sorry, £24.99 on that plus postage. Lovely sale. That's it. That's my 20 over 20 for June and July. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope maybe it gives you some ideas of, if you are a reseller, something you can pick up to resell. Or maybe you're looking at that thinking, I've got one of those, I might stick mine on eBay, you know? Who knows? I sell a wide variety of stuff. There's nothing that I won't buy to sell, unless it's too big and bulky because I don't have the storage for it. But you know, so as you can see, I sell everything from clothes and handbags to bric-a-brac to old rolls of wallpaper to anything that I think, anything I can turn a few quid on. And I think in the current days of what's being called cosy lives, the cost of living crisis, I hope that these videos might help some people to go, I could make a few quid. Because as you can see, the items in this video, none of them cost me more than a few quid, and they've all sold for over 20. So maybe you'll get some inspiration. Thank you for joining me for this video. I will be back in a couple of months with another one. I decided to do these bi-monthly. I'll be back in a couple of months with another one, and I'll be back next week with some more of whatever it is I do here. Take care. Bye for now.